I'll do something a little bit more lighthearted rather than talking just about business, and I thought I'd talk about some of the gear that I use in the studio day to day. And I picked out 3 of the items that I feel I couldn't live without, and also ended up thinking about a 4th one along the way, so I'll show you that at the end. Alrighty, so the first thing I want to talk about is this thing here. Now this is a Manfrotto Lastolite HiLite, and what they are originally made for is they were made to create pure white backgrounds for portrait photography and that type of thing. What I use them for is I use them for basically as a fake window. And the reason I like to do that is because even though we've got real windows here, I just hate having to deal with constantly changing light. So if you're not familiar with the way this sort of thing works is, I've got in here 2 Godox lights, okay? And they're triggered from this Godox trigger here, okay? And if I pull this aside here, you'll see here, that's the 2 lights I'm using, and I'm using 2, oops, nearly fell over, Godox MS200s. And as you can see, I have them set at a 30, so that's the lowest power setting I can get them down to. And the reason I have them at the lowest power setting is because I'm generally shooting in this area at very wide apertures, meaning I'm usually shooting, like this is an old 51.2, so I'm usually shooting this at 1.2 if I'm using this particular lens. One thing worth mentioning is when you get these, you'll notice that I've got a white border here. They actually have come with a black border. We've painted this white. And the reason that we've painted it white is because we do same day IPS, meaning we show the photographs to the clients straight after the session. And it's very distracting having such a bold black line in the background. The other thing, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning, but the one that we got is the biggest one you can get. I can't remember the exact dimensions, but whatever the biggest one is, that's what this one here is. So the next item that we use all the time is this thing here. It's called a Tuelle. That's spelled T-U-E-L-L-E. I can't even remember where we got this from. I think we got it from Amazon UK. We have a few of them, but the one that I like best is this nude coloured one. There's this pale coloured one, and the reason being it looks really good in the white area, which I am now. I'll call it the white area, but it also looks really good in the black area, which we've got over there. We've got an area over here that looks like this, but in the complete reverse. It's got black walls and a black floor, and so it shows up really nice. And I'll show you some of the images from the 2 areas to give you an idea. But where it's really good is for plus size boudoir, which we do a lot of. We do a lot of ladies who are plus size, and the reason it's good is it just gives them a little bit of coverage, and it gives them the confidence to be able to stand in front of the camera, sit in front of the camera. It just looks really nice. I'll show you the photos, and you'll get a better idea of what I'm sort of getting at. But we use this all the time, and I would replace this one in a heartbeat. So the next thing that we always use is this thing here, and this is called a Tantra Chair. Now, what it actually is, it's sold as a sex chair, and the idea I'm led to believe is it's meant to help couples achieve all the positions of the Kama Sutra. If you go to the website, their website, you'll see a couple giving a very graphic demonstration on how to use this thing. It's terrific. But the reason I got it is because when I opened this studio, I was looking around for some new furniture to use. And I saw this thing pop, you know when you start searching for things, you start seeing ads for everything? Well, that's what happened to me. I saw this bob up on Facebook, I believe, and I thought, wow, that's a cool looking couch. I wasn't even really sure what it was. So I did some investigation. I found out it was a sex chair. I thought, wow, that's cool. And I found one locally, and I drove down and went and picked it up. I dragged it into the studio. A vaguely amusing story is when I dragged it in, my wife saw it. She said, "What are you doing? You can't have that here. What will people think?" Well, she was quite new. She was quite new to boudoir at that point. And I said, "Look, don't worry about it. No one will know what it is. I just think it's a cool couch. We'll call it a posing couch." Anyway, the first lady who came in and saw it said, "Oh, that's one of those awesome sex chairs. I saw that on Netflix on How to Build a Sex Room." So apparently this was featured in that TV show, How to Build a Sex Room. But the reason this is so good is because it can position people into really nice poses without it being super strenuous. So, and what I mean by that is not a lot of ladies can lie on the floor and arch their back and do those classic poses. And what this does is it gives people the ability to pose, like, for example, like that. I do actually demonstrate how to do the poses, much to the amusement of my clients. But so you can just lie like this for as long as you want. It looks really good, you know, and you can do all sorts of other poses. I'll put a few photos in there. I mentioned a fourth thing. Okay, so what I've got here is a blower. Now this is just a little workshop blower for blowing off workshops. It's a Ryobi. I got this one from Bunnings in Australia. I'm sure that they're available in other countries from other stores. It didn't cost much. It was only like $100. This particular model is a R18TB, if that means anything. And it's just a 18 volt blower. Now, the reason I got this originally was because I had a big fan here that I would use to blow hair, for the shoots. And it was getting a bit big and taking up a bit too much room. And I came across this thing. And what I like about it is the trigger is touch sensitive. So if I squeeze it a little bit, a small amount of air comes out. If I pull it all the way, you get heaps of air. You get heaps of air. And so not only do we use it for blowing hair, but it's actually really useful. We use it for blowing off the front steps to the studio. Saves having to sweep them. It's just easier. But an unintended one is when we get ladies in here, and this happens more often than you would think. Say they've got like really long lace-up boots or corsets or really elaborate sort of more elaborate outfits. They get really, really hot, and even with the air conditioner running and the fans going overhead, they tend to overheat. So we now use it to cool down ladies when they get really hot. So it's kind of funny. So we'll just do that and cool the ladies down. It's quite funny. But yeah, no, it's one of those things that now I've got it. I honestly, if it broke down, I would run out and replace it immediately. So that's my fourth random thing. Quite a useful item. Great for hair, great for cooling down, great for all sorts of things. They're the items that we use all the time. They're the items that actually make us money because we sell more photographs as a result of them. And the reason being is that they help make people look good, but also they're quite fun. Like especially the sex chair and the Tuelle. They have a lot of fun on those. So yeah, I would definitely replace all of those. But thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this. If you aren't subscribed, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. It really helps. If you are subscribed already, I'd love you to like the video. Apparently that really helps a lot. But until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You are awesome. Have a great day.